Welcome to This Explainer. Look, today we're unraveling a shift that's so massive it's actively rewriting the rules of global business and, frankly, human history. We're diving into insights from Henry Kissinger, Eric Schmidt, and Daniel Huttenlocher to explore a reality that every single market and leader has to face. The age of artificial intelligence is officially here. To really get a grip on this new era, we're unpacking this foundational text, The Age of AI and Our Human Future. And listen, this is far from just an academic thought experiment. It's a tangible, active engine driving global civilization. It's touching literally everything, from how massive corporations structure their supply chains down to how entire nations defend themselves. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the AI revolution begins, powering global business networks, the cost of efficiency, security and global defense, AI and human identity, and finally, redefining our responsibility. Let's get right into it. Section 1. The AI revolution begins, from Turing to neural networks. All right, so to really grasp the business implications, we've got to understand the tech first. And it's pretty wild to think about the timeline here. Back in the mid-20th century, Alan Turing was just proposing a test to see if a machine could even mimic human reasoning. Fast forward to today, we've got systems like AlphaFold predicting over 170,000 3D protein structures. That's unlocking biological secrets at a scale we couldn't even imagine before. And right alongside that, you've got ChatGPT and other large language models training on absolute oceans of data to anticipate and generate incredibly nuanced language patterns. But the real game changer here is abandoning traditional rule-based code. Think of rule-based code like hiring a worker who can only follow a strict, rigid script to the letter. It just can't replicate actual human cognition. Neural networks, on the other hand, that's more like bringing on a highly intuitive intern. It actually learns from massive amounts of training data. It can handle ambiguous, messy, imperfect information. And honestly, that adaptability is exactly why AI has suddenly become the ultimate tool for global business. Moving on to Section 2, powering global business networks, the engine of the modern economy. So, as it turns out, these neural networks, they are the exact engines powering our modern economy right now. Across e-commerce, search engines, and social media, AI is basically this relentless optimizer. Take e-commerce. Algorithms customize the exact products you see, optimizing the experience for literally billions of users worldwide and driving massive global revenue. In search engines, AI customizes the flow of information, physically shaping how humanity accesses knowledge. And on social media, it curates content with one main goal, maximizing your engagement on the platform. These aren't just cool tech features anymore. They are the core business models of the most powerful companies on Earth. But this level of extreme optimization, it kind of backs us into a corner. I mean, if knowledge is power, who controls the flow of that knowledge? When a handful of global corporations are using AI to mediate our reality, to decide what we buy, what we read, and what we believe, we have to start asking some really serious questions about accountability and control in the global market. The whole Facebook dilemma is a perfect example of this tension. Look, algorithms are exceptionally good at their primary business mandate, right? Showing preferred content to keep our eyes glued to the screen and increase engagement. But the unintended consequence here is massive. Sensational misinformation and clickbait just spread like wildfire. It turns out algorithms are great at math, but they're pretty terrible at reading the room. They completely lack human context. And that turns content moderation into a huge corporate liability, where businesses risk censoring vital, dissenting voices just to keep the platform stable. Which brings us to Section 3, the cost of efficiency, when AI lacks context. We really need to weigh these extreme outcomes against each other. Because on one hand, we're seeing staggering business and medical success. Think about AlphaFold achieving breathtaking breakthroughs that's advancing our understanding of disease in ways that could spawn entirely new pharmaceutical industries practically overnight. But on the flip side, we have unpredictable, sometimes catastrophic localized failures, like Microsoft's chatbot Tay, which was corrupted by public interaction almost immediately, or the facial recognition software used by Detroit police that had a horrifying 96% error rate for African-American faces due to flawed training data. When you deploy AI without human context in the real world, the costs can be devastating. And the authors offer a really powerful warning here. We must not mistake the efficiency of AI for wisdom, nor its predictions for moral judgment. Just because an algorithm can rapidly process data and output a highly profitable business decision doesn't mean it's actually making a wise choice. Efficiency just does not equal wisdom. especially when historical flaws are baked right into the system's training data. Section 4. Security and Global Defense, the Escalation Risks. Now, global business relies entirely on global stability, right? But AI is fundamentally altering the rules of international deterrence. Think back to Cold War nuclear doctrine. Stability relied heavily on clear signaling, knowing exactly what the other side was doing to manage perceived escalation risks. Well, AI cyber weapons completely shatter that old paradigm. They operate in the shadows. They are autonomous, highly ambiguous, and independently searching for vulnerabilities. They can even disguise attacks as simple system glitches. It introduces this massive, terrifying layer of unpredictability to the international supply chains and markets we all rely on. Which leads us to a pretty heavy question. Who, if anyone, is actually responsible for the decisions that an AI makes in a combat situation? If an AI is advising commanders or even picking targets autonomously, we are facing a complete lack of historical precedent. There is simply no playbook for automated warfare on this scale. Let's look at Section 5, AI and Human Identity, the Philosophical Shift. Beyond the boardroom and the battlefield, this next concept really blew my mind. Quote, "What the printing press was to the Enlightenment, AI may be to a new era of human understanding or misunderstanding." I mean, just as the printing press sparked a global revolution in human thought, AI is out there creating art, writing code, generating literature. For the business world, this means the very way consumers perceive truth, creativity, and even brand value is fundamentally shifting right beneath our feet. So it becomes incredibly clear that AI is not just another technological upgrade. It is a brand new epoch in human history. We are suddenly sharing our planet with entities that can essentially think without feeling and act without actually understanding. It's a profound philosophical challenge to our very reality. Finally, Section 6, Redefining Our Responsibility, Values Rooted in Humanity. So how exactly do we navigate this tumultuous period? The overarching message is clear. Humanity's task is not only to develop AI, but to define the values by which it should serve society. We absolutely cannot just leave AI to evolve on its own terms, driven solely by unchecked corporate profit motives. We have to actively steer its evolution with clear, ethical priorities rooted in human dignity. As AI redefines capability, we must redefine responsibility. Whether you're a business leader, a policymaker, or just an everyday consumer, if we want AI to augment our potential rather than just replace our agency, we have to demand a blend of deep technological literacy and unwavering moral clarity. We have to guide this responsibly. I want to leave you with one final provocative thought from the authors to chew on. What is knowledge when machines can generate it independently? And what is truth when AI produces facts that we cannot even explain? As this technology continues to rapidly transform global business and human society, how we answer those questions will absolutely define our shared future. Keep that in mind as you navigate this incredible new epoch. Thank you so much for joining me for this